Why are we still talking about an NBA backup center? Because he does stuff like this. Rebound, just casually dribble behind the back around Dorian Finney-Smith, the Mavs' best defender. And Luka has no chance one-on-one. Pretty much no one has a chance against Bol Bol one-on-one. He just had a career-high 19 points. 19, not a big deal, but you can't take your eyes off him when he's playing. He looks so crazy among crazy big freaks. He is so long. Watch Malcolm Brogdon with a ton of space. Pow! Pow!
Are you saying pow? What are you saying?
Then the dunk on the other end. This kind of insane athleticism and length is why we still talk about a backup center. Oh, but where have I seen this play recently? Oh yeah, Victor Wembanyama just did this exact same thing and people went nuts. So why did we forget about Bol Bol? Because people thought his career was over a few months ago. But we just found out what's been holding him back this whole time. But first, some of you know that I just became a father. He was on the live the other day. So finances have been on my mind a lot more lately, and today's sponsor Rocket Money is helping me with that. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance platform that helps you save more and spend less. I want to show you my app, my dashboard. Now, before you get crazy here, these numbers are scrambled. None of them are real. But one thing it helps you do is cancel subscriptions, so I can view all of my recurring subscriptions here. And what is GoPuff? I immediately called my wife and I was like, why do we have a subscription to GoPuff? I think we used it one time. The cool thing is that Rocket Money will cancel any subscription with one click in their app. Another tool is it helps you save. So if I click on this saving tool right here, there are two different options for me and it will be set up automatically. There's so much useful stuff that Rocket Money can do. So if you guys want to try it out for free and unlock even more features with premium, go over to rocketmoney.com/amhoops or click the link in the description. Thanks again to Rocket Money. Bol Bol's dad was Manute Bol, who was once the tallest NBA player at 7'7". They came from a wealthy family in Sudan. Manute's grandfather was the chief of their tribe and had around 40 wives and 80 children. The way Manute met Bol Bol's mom is your normal story. You know, saw her across the room, she seemed pretty cool. He paid 80 cows for her and they had 10 kids. And one of those was Bol Bol, who grew up in the US because his dad was accused of being an American spy by the Sudanese government. By the time Bol Bol was in high school, he was a 5-star prospect in 2018. But there were a ton of questions that have followed him to the league. The first was if he even loved the game. People talk trash about his attitude. A lot of players are gifted but do it for the paycheck. Then he hurt his foot in college and only played 4 games. Instead of being the lottery pick people thought, he was taken 44th overall. He barely played for Denver, but when he did, it was nuts. His debut in the bubble blocked Troy Brown Jr. on one end. Then Nikola Jokic is like, all right, give me the ball. And Bol's like, nah, I'm good. Transition 3. But then they didn't use him, like, almost at all. If you look at Bol's game logs the next season, it's either plays 5 minutes of garbage time or Mike Malone just chooses to sit him. The coach said that he told Bol, no one ever questions your talent, your abilities, but what has been questionable at times is maybe your work ethic, your commitment, your discipline. So it was character issues at first. But when he was buried on the depth chart, apparently, Bol would sulk and didn't play with energy when he was given a chance because he was upset. And I get it. If you're a 5-star prospect supposed to be a lottery pick, why aren't you getting minutes even when you bowl out in the Bol Bol? But the Nuggets wanted him to be more of a mature professional, and he never did, so they traded him to the Pistons, where his career almost ended. January 2022, Denver dealt Bol for Rodney McGruder and a 2nd-round pick, but the trade was voided when Bol failed his physical. It turned out he had a foot issue that needed surgery, the same thing that caused him to miss most of college and fall in the draft. foot issues are a curse for NBA big men. It's what ended Yao Ming's career. Finals MVP Bill Walton too. People were calling Bol Bol a bust, which is hard for the 44th pick. But the Magic love a gamble. This is a team that has been irrelevant since Dwight Howard took them to the finals in 09. If you want to see how to mess up a rebuild, look at the Magic. They traded Dwight for a package of 2 firsts and Nikola Vucevic. Also acquired Tobias Harris. Drafted Victor Oladipo and Aaron Gordon. Nice little core, but not as good as Devin Booker, who they passed on for Mario Hezonja. Then, a great pick, Domantas Sabonis in 2016, which they ruined by trading Oladipo and Sabonis for Serge Ibaka, who sucked. They gambled on vets at the expense of their good young talent and failed. So it was years of mediocrity before they tore it down. They got Bol for a 2nd-round pick, but a transformational trade reset the franchise. Out of nowhere, the Bulls traded Wendell Carter, Otto Porter, and 2 first-round picks for Vooch. A huge overpay, but they had a new front office guy trying to make their star Zach LaVine happy. The next year, they got DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, Lonzo Ball, and lost in the 1st round. That is gonna be their ceiling, but that's a different video. The Magic fleeced the Bulls because Wendell Carter is already a better center than Vooch and almost 10 years younger. Orlando used one of those picks for Franz Wagner, who could be a franchise player one day. That trade would never fly now, but Chicago panicked and the Magic took advantage. But they made up for it the next year with Paolo Banchero. Everybody thought Jabari Smith was going number 1 until like an hour before the draft. And it turns out Paolo already looks like an NBA vet, while Chet Holmgren is injured and Jabari is just okay. But the biggest surprise this year is Bol Bol. Finally getting minutes and is a legit contender for most improved player. That is why we're talking about a backup center. It turns out that foot issue in Denver might have been holding him back the whole time. The Nuggets didn't even know about it until they tried to trade him to Detroit. Then it required surgery? How do you miss that? Maybe because Bol Bol didn't want to tell them and get buried even further on the bench. But thankfully, he had surgery and he is finally healthy. His first double-double was against Dallas. The highlight, blocking a Luka 3 on one end, then Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero give-and-go passes to Bol Bol for the dunk. And Luka is the MVP right now. So when he blocks his 3 and at the rim, it's not like any other block. The best young big man in the league is Evan Mobley, who is also so long that he can block 3s. But when Bol played him this year, he swats a shot away like Mobley was a guard. If you look at all the young, exciting cores in the NBA, you've got the Grizzlies and the Cavaliers. Both teams are riding on a young, electric guard as their best or second best player, but the Magic are betting big on unicorns. This was a lineup they used in their first game. The combined wingspan of this group is 37 feet. Now, a lot of teams are getting bigger these days, but no young team is betting on big as much as Orlando. So Bol Bol isn't just a freak who is fun to watch, he is actually a part of the master plan for the Magic to take over the league. But Bol Bol isn't even the craziest comeback story in the NBA right now, which is hard to believe because he has quite an underdog story. It's actually Dennis Smith Jr., who was out of the NBA last year at 24 years old after being a top 10 pick, and is now a starting point guard again. Check it out.